Hello and welcome back to the Chill Fellas podcast. May the force be with you.
I was at the start of the month, bucko. A bit late.
I didn't say May 4th, I said, let you bloody... That's it. Yeah,
It's Star Wars time, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, it is a lot of Star Wars stuff. It was May 4th and the Maul was coming out. And now the Mandalorian movie is out, Mandalorian and Grogu. So we're going to talk about the Star Wars movies for the majority of this episode. A bit of a Mandalorian review. I'm the only one that's seen it, so I'll give a quick review shortly. Then we're going to rank the movies. Geordie hasn't seen every single movie, and he hasn't seen them in a while. I'm a lot more familiar and have seen everything, so we'll have a bit of a differ there, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, other than that, we'll get into like a quick catch-up of the week. So what have you been up to so far this week?
This week's been a pretty chill week, actually. I finished up with a big project at work, and so kind of been transitioning into the next one, which is been a bit chill. So I haven't really had a bit more free time than usual, so I decided to start. I don't have the actual book here, so you have to deal with the bloody dust cover. I decided to start House of Leaves, which is a big undertaking. I'm very much, I think I've mentioned it in the last episode too, very much in a liminal space mood right now because of, we're in between Exit 8 and Backrooms, and there's a bunch of other stuff happening, so
Yeah.
I just like, screw it. Now's the time. I've been interested for a while, and I saw a copy on a trip we just recently went on, and so I was like, yeah, screw it, might as well. So I've been starting that. That's been good. Not much else. Oh, actually, I started True Detective properly because I watched the first episode a while back, but I was distracted with other things because it was while people were visiting, and ended up just being like, okay, it's not even worth it. So decided to start that again. We're just going to watch season 1 because it's kind of like an anthology, like each season is different.
Yeah, from what I saw.
So we'll just watch season 1. It's like 8-9 episodes, something like that. But yeah, no, excited for watch first 2. Bloody banging. It's really good so far, so hopefully that continues. That's about everything on my end.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know if it's as good as people say.
Yeah, definitely.
The last few days, nothing too crazy. Saw the Mandalorian movie last night. Midnight premiere, which is really cool. I don't think the showbiz has ever done a midnight premiere that I can remember, not that I attended. But you and I,
true.
But apart from Force Awakens, we still saw that together. I think later on, because I saw it multiple times. But Last Jedi and all the others apart from Solo, we saw midnight screenings together. Read the newspaper for one of them, which is cool. But anything else this week? A bunch of recovering, editing a particular vlog that you'll see later.
That's been cool to see little glimpses of.
Yeah, I think I'm really blanking, to be honest. I swear I've done something. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to Lego Batman coming out tomorrow, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, tomorrow, okay. I thought it already came out. People must have got early access or something.
Yeah, it's like the thing where if you buy the deluxe, you get it 3 days early.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, I don't like that. Anyways. So I'm seeing really cool stuff for it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, sweet.
But yeah, so I suppose we'll get right into it. So first things first, I'll do my Mandalorian review to get that out of the way. So, alright. So here's my review for The Mandalorian and Grogu. So I'm a big Star Wars fan. I like every single movie, with one kind of exception. And I really like The Mandalorian show. Season 1's great. Season 2, that's my favorite season. Season 3, I'm a little bit of a defender. It's definitely the weakest and I have a lot of issues, but I'm like, there's still some really cool stuff in there. And I think this movie suffers a lot from the context of it, where it's like a Star Wars movie is like a big spectacle event with like a large scope and all this kind of stuff. Not that every single movie needs to be like that, because that's definitely a lower scale. But this one, I'm like, this felt like a pretty good direct-to-video movie, like straight-to-streaming movie. Like it was cool to kind of see it in cinemas again, but my cinema wasn't even packed. I went to the midnight screening and it was a bit lacking. And I was not really looking forward to it massively. I was like, yeah, I'll check it out, obviously, and I'm curious about it. but it's just like very safe and tame. It's definitely for a younger demographic, and you can argue that all the other movies are as well. But if you know, I don't think Anakin burning alive with three of his limbs cut off is like for a child. You know, so you can argue that. But I enjoyed the movie enough. It was fun. Rod of the Hutt was a fun character. I enjoyed him. And Mando and Grogu did have a lot of cool moments, but not enough to challenge like a very unique and interesting story. It was just kind of like cool moments and cool things, and it was just a really good, fun side quest. So
Right.
I'd personally give it a 6 out of 10. As a Star Wars fan, you know, nothing too crazy, but it doesn't like ruin anything. It doesn't. It's just kind of there, to be honest, compared to like all the other movies. But
Yeah. Okay.
it's alright.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, quick little follow up question: is there any like standout moments, like big cameos, or the cool like things that
Yeah,
are tied to other parts of the universe?
It's unfortunate. Not that everything needs to be like cameo fest. There's a difference between like using a character well and then like why is he showing up here to be there? And this movie, to be honest, like thinking on it, I'm like, if a movie can't be spoiled, it's kind of uninteresting in a way.
Yeah.
Like there's not a thing where I'm like, what can you spoil, buddy? Also, oh well, no, I'm not going to go too deep into spoilers. Again, not that there's much to spoil, but I'm like, they go on a quest and they succeed.
Yeah, so there's no big like, Grogu said his first words and Grogu got a lightsaber, like nothing crazy like that.
Not a single lightsaber shows up, so that's immediately 2 points detracted. there's no Luke, there's no nothing. It's just who you see in the trailer, that's who's in the movie.
Right.
And it's just a fun side quest. Again, it's why I'm also just like, you don't like, this isn't an integral thing to, it's literally just if you want a fun side quest, which, again, you're allowed to do that, but it's just like, like, you know, you look at the Punisher special that just came out, it's like, why not just do like a streaming like special or something?
Yeah,
it's tricky.
Based on that, it seems like the biggest question is like, why is this in cinemas? You know? Like,
I'm very curious to see
my theory is that it's just because of Pedro Pascal. They're just like, yeah, buddy, he's doing well in Marvel, let's buddy chuck him in, you know?
Yeah, because part of my theory, kind of going along with that, is I'm like, Season 3 got like a lot of backlash, and obviously Star Wars is a bit in a tricky spot, because there's so many movies announced, but nothing's coming out. Like, you know, the Rey trilogy, the Ryan Gosling movie, and all this kind of stuff, but like, just, we're not seeing anything. Yeah. And I think they're just like, we've kind of fumbled with a lot. And in the press tour stuff, they're just like, we want to appeal to like, you know, a younger audience, and like because it's like, what season 4 of Mandalorian, like that implies that you'd have to watch the whole show and like this and that. We want to like bring it to a new audience and everything. It's just like, what? So to me, it seems more of like a marketability thing, where it's like, let's get the younger demographic in there, because it's been 7 years since the last movie, and I'm just like, I think they were just like, like, it seems like they're worried about their reputation for the longevity of like the younger audience, or like, you know, some weird sort of thing like that. And again, not that the movie's horrible or like anything like that, but it's kind of just like, what is this, like it's a very weird, unfortunate approach to all these different projects.
Yeah,
but
seems like it.
Yeah. But unfortunately, but either way, again, enjoy what you enjoy. The original 6 movies are there, you know, even if you're in like the first 3 or whatever, just don't watch anything else then.
Yeah, exactly. You can pick and choose what you do. Like, I have seen people be like, this is like the worst thing. This is why I hate Star Wars. And it's like, just don't watch it then. You know, that's kind of the philosophy I got, where it's like, I'm not enjoying this anymore.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to watch it. I don't go and hate on it. You know.
Yeah. And
although the shorts say otherwise, so just people are still mad about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, and that's what'll be interesting about our ranking comparisons, because again, you haven't seen Solo or Mandalorian and Grogu, obviously, and you haven't seen have you seen the Clone Wars movie? Like, you know, before they started.
Yeah, the animated one. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw that in cinemas.
Yeah, Yeah, same. First Star Wars movie I saw in cinemas. Interesting one.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So we'll go into our rankings. I think it'll be a bit more interesting for you to go first, probably.
Probably be a bit quicker too.
Yeah. There's gonna be
Not
like,
much to say.
there's gonna be rapid fire, literally just like a word or two or whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Just bloody boom, boom, boom. Bloody. If you want detailed rankings, let us know. We can do a dedicated episode later on, maybe, where we go into in-depth stuff. But it's gonna be pretty rapid fire. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I guess I'll
after you
start.
say yours, I'm gonna like question my like biggest like one or two in there. Where I'm like, really that?
Yeah, no, this is gonna be interesting. So, well, I guess in order from should I do best to worst or worst to best?
Worst to best. Yeah, build your way up.
Yeah, okay. So Star Wars movies from worst to best, I'd have to say we got to start with Attack of the Clones. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No. Phantom Menace is the worst one for me. Just like genuinely borderline unwatchable. I cannot stand that movie. Then I'd say the Clone Wars animated movie. I revisited that once. Wasn't a fan. Then after that, probably Attack of the Clones. Great stuff. But from here on out, we're in the sort of like decent to good sort of territory. So yeah,
Okay.
Attack of the Clones. Then after that, A New Hope. After this is where I'm gonna get fucking roasted. So yeah, so Attack of the Clones, New Hope. Force Awakens after A New Hope. Basically, just it is pretty much just a reskin of A New Hope, but with modern polish. Made it more enjoyable for me. Empire. No, sorry, Return of the Jedi. I like that a bit less than Empire. Then Empire. This is where I'm going to really piss people off. Last Jedi. Above Empire.
Bro's gone.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking frustrated.
Star Laser fucking hit your ass.
That's mainly the reason I put Last Jedi above Empire Strikes Back is because it's just like that's more of a personal thing. You know, we went to the midnight screening for that. You know, I think was no, sorry, we didn't see that one when we moved in together, did we? That was Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, Last Jedi above Empire, then Revenge of the Sith, then Rise of Skywalker, then at the very top, favorite Star Wars movie of all time, Rogue One.
Yeah. Okay.
Have fun with that in the comments.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'll dissect that a little bit before I get to mine. Yeah, like a lot of these is like, you know, personal connection, and everything. So firstly, why haven't you seen Solo?
I think at the time I was just a bit busy, and you went and saw it without me. Not in like a bloody bitchy way. You were just like, okay, I'll go see it. Then I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And then after that, I kind of just lost motivation because you were kind of, from memory, you're a bit indifferent on it. You're like, I mean, it's fine. It's not really stand out. And then I just lost a bit of motivation. I just have never bloody picked it up since. So it's not like I refuse to watch it. It's just, I haven't picked it up.
Okay. Do you think you ever will watch it?
It's hard to say. I also just don't really care about Han Solo as a character, so a dedicated movie, it's like, how much do I care about this? That was also at the time where we hadn't really gotten any projects without lightsabers. It was kind of just Rogue One, and that was pretty much it. And I was like, I just want some bloody lightsaber stuff. I want Jedi and Sith, you know? Yeah, pretty much. But like I said, I loved Rogue One. But yeah, I don't know. Something about Solo is just like, it's not that I'm not refusing to watch it. I just there's no motivation for me to. So I'm sure I will eventually. Maybe I'll wait till bloody my kid's old enough to watch it. We'll watch it together, sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, I suppose that'll be it. Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, all right. So I suppose I'll get to. Oh well, actually, yeah. And Rise of Skywalker that high? Is that purely just cinema experience?
Yeah, like I said in the hot takes, I don't think any of them are like good. I shouldn't say that. I don't think any of them are great. There's some good ones for sure. Like I said, we're in the decent to good territory pretty much the whole way through. Um, but it's not like, what did the themes explode here? But so the Star Wars movies just aren't that inherently, and everyone hypes up Revenge of the Sith a lot, but rewatching it, it's like I think they're only remembering half of this. It'd be like if you were like, the Kenobi show's goated because Anakin and Obi-Wan flashbacks and Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan and well, the Darth Vader in his castle looks cool. It's like,
It
what
doesn't.
about the other half of the show? Yeah, well, it doesn't. But what about the other half of the show? It's like you're
Yeah.
forgetting that half, and I feel like people do that with Revenge of the Sith, where they're like, this is so goated, bloody all this, and this. And then it's like, okay, what about the other half? Like, it's kind of the
Yeah.
same thing with Rise of Skywalker, but it's the opposite, where people only focus on the negatives.
Yeah,
of Rise of
yeah. Well, that's the whole
Skywalker.
trilogy, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, realistically, it's all the Star Wars movies, I'd say. Like, the fan base is just, they're very selective. And so, I feel like it's like, okay, yeah, the stuff that people love, fantastic. And if the movie was just that, easy number one. Because it's not just that, and the other stuff there, I did not resonate with in the slightest. Like, I fell asleep a couple times when I watched it last time. I'm just like, yeah, look, it can't be number one. It's still very much high up there because, I just love the conclusion to, well, not conclusion, but conclusion cinematically to Anakin's story and stuff like that. And, the Mustafar fight is really well done. And all the stuff that's good, yeah, it's fantastic. But Rise of Skywalker, yeah, pretty much just visuals are leagues above the prequels. Like I said, it's the same thing where it's like people only focus on the negatives, but there's a lot of positives. Well, I think of positives anyway that I really resonate with and love. And cinematically, it's a much more polished movie than Revenge of the Sith is. Revenge of the Sith, like, basically, a good way to put it is Revenge of the Sith has some pretty high highs that probably are a bit higher than the highest points of Rise of Skywalker, but they're very few and far between, and the lows are much lower for me. Like I said, to the point where I just fall asleep. So they are close, but Rise of Skywalker just has a few extra points for me personally that bump it up.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also just feel nowadays, especially, I'm like, no one has the same opinion about anything.
You could debate everything. Like, I could tell you why Phantom Menace is actually the best Star Wars movie, and it's like, well, you could probably bring up some solid points, but it's like, I don't agree,
Yeah, because with the first 6 movies, it's like, all right, you're either like over 40 years old, or you're a new kid that likes the new ones, or like, it's a very clear cut, dry comparison. But like, now that we have like 12, 13 movies now, and I'm like, there's so many more generations of fans. It's like, yeah, this is all a lot more jumbled. Which is interesting, which is what I think is fun about all these opinions. Okay, so, alright, get to mine.
Let's go.
So, I got it all on my phone here. So, here's my ranking for all 13 Star Wars movies. So, in last place, the Clone Wars movie. I do have a bit of a special spot in my heart for it, because this was the first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters, but this is like just a pretty mid pilot for the show. Love the show. In 12th place, Mandalorian and Grogu. This one is just like a very competently put together thing. So like it is a proper movie, but it is just a fun side quest that feels like a direct-to-video movie. And then in 11th place, Solo. I also just want to say with all these, I don't hate any of them, and even Mandalorian and Grogu, I like the movie. So I literally like every single Star Wars movie. It's just some I love, some less so.
Yeah.
So yeah, 11th place, Solo. This one has grown on me more, although it's like very like towards the end. I've actually grown to like this more as time's gone on. Just really like Han Solo as a character, and I think it's a bit underrated. In 10th place, Rise of Skywalker. But the caveat with these three, the sequel trilogy, it's really all together. It's really all together. It's very hard to separate them because like The Last Jedi, which I'll put in like 9th place, that one it has the highest highs of the sequel trilogy, but the lowest lows of the trilogy. And then Force Awakens in 8. That's just like the safest, you know. So it's like, eh. But I really put them all together. And in 7th place, Phantom Menace. I just really love this time period of like around the prequel era, and like, you know, around this was obviously a bit before the Clone Wars, but I just really like that time period. And the Maul stuff's great. Like I focus more on the positives than the negatives, but that is definitely the worst of the prequel trilogy. After that, in 6th place, Attack of the Clones. I think it's a bit underrated. I personally like the romance stuff. The music is fantastic. The Jedi Coliseum fight, well, that's great. In 5th place, Return of the Jedi. I love, again, similar kind of thing. This has like my favorite stuff in the original trilogy, but also my least favorite stuff. Not massive on the Jabba's Palace stuff and like a bunch of the Ewok stuff, but all the Vader and Luke stuff is fantastic, and I love all that stuff. 4th place, Rogue One. This is probably the best looking Star Wars movie. I love it. Fantastic. 3rd place, A New Hope. Just very amazing start. And there's just a certain feel to it that like none of the other films really capture. But I don't know, I just really love the energy to it. But it is a little bit rough. 2nd place, Empire Strikes Back. You know, sort of saying more. I do think it's like slightly overrated, but you know, it is a really good film. And then in 1st place, Revenge of the Sith. I just grew up on these films, and I just think this film is so bold with like all the planets that it shows, the amount of stuff it tells, all the fight. It just has everything I love about Star Wars, and I just resonate with it so much. And I think it's also just very tragic and like emotional at the end, especially with how much I love Clone Wars and like the weight that it adds to all of this. Yeah, banging.
Question.
Declined.
That's how
it looks on my phone. To bloody visualize it for people.
Yeah, cool. If you have to enjoy a 7-season show to add weight to a movie, is it a good movie? Question for you.
You see, yeah, the question is, I'm not saying it's a good movie. And all this, I'm like, especially the prequels, I'm like, I don't view these as like, especially Revenge of the Sith very particularly, I'm like, this is like an event. Like this is like just like I kind of like live in this movie. It's like
it's like the Infinity War of Star Wars, if you think about it, which is a fuck comparison to make. Like, you know,
it ends tragically.
Like, yeah, it is just it's the event. It's the culmination of a lot of things. It's not. You couldn't watch Revenge of the Sith by itself and enjoy it to its fullest. You know, like if you separate any Star Wars movie from its respective trilogy, I feel like it weakens the experience. Except maybe the first one of each trilogy, because obviously that's setting things up. But still, it would weaken it a little bit, I think. So, you know, it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not criticizing it.
Good.
Yet. No, so I was expecting the Clone Wars movie to be a bit higher, to be honest, because it's animated. I know you love that stuff.
Yeah, like listen again, I don't know if I'd like watch it over Mandalorian and Grogu per se, but I'm like, it like at least like stands out and has like with that one, I'm like, that started the whole Clone Wars bloody journey and all that, like it brought these people together. But I'm just like, it's very rough.
That's another thing too. I wasn't expecting Mandalorian and Grogu to be that low. Based on your review, I was like, oh, yeah, they're probably like middle of the range. But like, I know you said it doesn't mean you don't like it, but yeah, buddy, I wasn't expecting
it feels the least like a movie. Like even Solo, I'm like, that still feels like it has like the quality of a movie and like the fair like spectacle of an adventure and stuff. This, like, because I know what the Mandalorian show can achieve, I'm just like, this just feels like an episode from the show. Like, I'm not really too, like, all looks good enough and, like, polished and all that, but I do think the VFX, like, it all looks, again, like, quite good and everything, but I'm just like, yeah, like, all the old movies, I'm like, I feel we're a little bit more polished than this.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And they won't even tackle anything too grand. So I'm like,
yeah. No, that's fair. I can see that.
But it's inoffensive. But
yeah,
I
think, to be honest, I have come to think, and this is just a little side note. I think if a movie leaves you feeling like, well, basically the word you just said, inoffensive. If you come out of a movie and you're like, that was inoffensive, wasn't like didn't do anything fucking great, didn't do anything horrible. It's like, all right, why does this movie exist then? You know, like if it's that middle of the road where it's just like, it's like, why does it exist? You want to have some sort of a reaction, whether it's negative or positive. Like if I ever come out of a movie nowadays and I'm just like, all right, like it feels like a waste of time, which automatically kind of puts it into the negatives because it's like, well, like, why did I do that? Like, what was the point of that? You know, like if we go see what's the next movie we're seeing together, it'd be Backrooms, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's next week. Yeah, if we get out of Backrooms and it's just so average and just neither of us really have anything to say, it's not like there's no crazy moments to talk about. There's no like bloody theories to think. It's like, what do we just do for 2 hours? Like, what was the point of that? You know. So I don't know. I've become a bit cynical when it comes to inoffensive movies, where it's just like it's just so middle of the road. There's nothing there. It's like
you have to like just really go for it. And again, like you just got to have guts. And again, that's why I think Revenge of the Sith, especially, like regardless if you like it or not, I'm like it has guts and like really like the events that happen, all the different planets. It was like bold, like the amount of stuff it covered.
Well,
and that's my slight complaint as well. Just to cap off Mandalorian and Grogu, I understand it's like, oh, not everything can be like so many colors and all this kind of stuff and everything. But I'm just like, and like Hoth, I'm like, it doesn't always need like it's very much like a white planet. All these kinds of all the planets, like so many of the planets that a lot of the recent shows and like these ones do, it's always just like random trees and like it's just always like gray, cream, white, green, and like a blue sky maybe and all. It's like they're not really doing many or like rock formations that are a bit different. I'm like you look at like Felucia, Mustafa, Utapau.
What? Huh? What are you saying right now? Well, the Utapau, my favorite. Let's chill at Utapau. Come on. Oh, the Glupshido. Let's go.
Utapau is where he fights Grievous.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. I couldn't tell you that with like 10 guesses.
Bloody, when fucking Ben Quadanero, bloody. But like, you know what I mean? I'm just like,
yeah, no, I get what you
explore
mean.
the universe. Stop going to fucking.
Well, it's the same thing. What? There was a franchise recently. I don't remember. I mean, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like the MCU, where it's like, why are we always going to New York? I understand a lot of them are based there, but like have movies, people really like Black Panther because we see Wakanda, and Guardians of the Galaxy because we're seeing space and stuff like that. And then it's like, why is it always New York? And at least if it's going to be New York, do something different, similar to, Fantastic Four is like a, retro futuristic New York and alternate universe and stuff like that. It's like, we want more stuff like that. We don't just want to be in the same place over and over again, Yeah. And, I think that's a very fair complaint because, like I said, there's a lot of great stuff to say about Revenge of the Sith, and one of them is, like, that really feels like a galaxy. That doesn't feel like a couple planets, or just a planet. That feels like a galaxy. Like, you see so much, and there's so much space stuff as well, like, in between the planets. It's like, it's the classic saying, bloody, shoot for the stars, at the very least you'll land among the moon. Shoot for the moon, you'll land among the stars. How did the other way around?
Yeah.
And, miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Like, all those, like, cheesy motivational ones, I'm like, they are true.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do something, bloody, put your bloody whole bloody heart into it.
Yeah.
Because if you fail, you've at least tried something, and it's distinct,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm just like I do think like the aliens and like the robot kind of stuff. I think they do like pretty interesting stuff with that in like the current stuff. But I'm just like the worlds. I'm like, yeah, this can be a lot more fantastical feeling.
Yeah, one thing I do miss about they might have hit this in Skeleton Key. No, Skeleton Key, almost Stephen King book. Skeleton Crew. They might have hit this based on the trailer. It looks like they kind of did. But I miss seeing, like, places inspired by the real world, but just, like, Star Wars-ified, Like, We saw the diner. Was that Attack of the Clones? We saw the diner with like the what's his name? The big four-armed greasy dude.
Dex.
What's his name? Dex. Yeah, we saw him come out, and it's like like it's very clearly inspired by a real place, and probably wouldn't exist if Star Wars was an actual thing because it's design language from Earth and stuff. But it was just really cool to see that because it's like, oh, that's how that would look in Star Wars. Sweet, and it's like it's visually interesting, as well as all this hard sci-fi, completely original stuff. You need a mix, but I just don't feel like there's anything like that anymore. Everything is like everything looks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to
Italy
put it. Like everything.
Naboo,
Exactly. Can't believe they gentrified Star Wars. Fuck. It's just everything looks the same now, and all the forest stuff. I don't think they should be using forest because that instantly makes it feel like a fan film. Every Star Wars fan film you see, it's like the classic, Death Star background with like the bloody lions, like all that sort of stuff. It's either that and like a hallway, or it's forest, or maybe if they have a big enough budget, they'll do bloody a desert, and it's like, all right. Those are very key locations that instantly kind of make it feel cheaper, and you have like millions and millions of dollars. Just make it up. It doesn't have to you're like, this planet is like, it's like a water planet, and the civilization is under the sea, and there's giant bloody sea creatures that come after. Like,
that's kind of another thing I kind of realized. Yeah, like Naboo. Pretty sure that's where it is. It's like, they have all the bloody Italian, bloody, Art Nouveau gorgeous things and all of that. But then the Gungans are in like an underwater, like sort of neon bubble city sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like you could have like more than one thing on a world.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, take inspiration from Earth because it's real. It's reality. Earth isn't just one thing around the whole planet. It's not like all of Earth is just bloody forest land. It's all like we've got deserts, we've got ice sort of landscapes, we've got mountains, we've got regular. We do have regular forests, of course, and then we've got like the Marianas Trench, which is just not infinitely, but a huge, deep, bloody trench underwater in the middle of the ocean that no one really knows. We've got the Bermuda Triangle, which is just like this weird area of the ocean where weird stuff happens, and it's like. Use that, use that as inspiration, and like you could make one world, and you could tell like 10 different stories on it if you did it effectively, But everything it feels the same,
unfortunately. And I think you nailed it on the head there. And I know that, like, because again with George, I'm like, bro is creative.
He is. I mean, there's no doubting that he squeezed every ounce of bloody juice out of his idea. He showed so many things.
Yeah, and again, that just led to Clone Wars because again, that was he did the first like 6 seasons of it, and I'm like, bro, we're still thinking of places.
Yeah, legit.
I'm like, it's kind of interesting to think. It's interesting to think, like, especially for the prequel era, how involved he was, and then he's just like, right, I'm gone, bloody for the sequels, and because obviously we know what happened, but I'm just like, it just feels like kind of weird without him.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And just speaking of all that kind of stuff, I don't know if you'll really have an answer. You don't need to. If you want to chuck in an actor and director, great. But again, I don't know if this would even really interest you. But what's a Star Wars movie? Like, what's your dream Star Wars movie that you'd love to see be made?
I definitely have
assuming it's done well.
This. Yeah. Basically, at the top of my list would have been that Kenobi movie. But obviously the show exists, so that's just not even a possibility. Like, I guess I could still use it.
How would you have done it?
Just entirely focused on Obi-Wan surviving on Tatooine, and get a few side things, explore that world a little bit more. But the key thing being, you could have the Inquisitors and have Darth Vader, and they're searching for Jedi, and maybe he, because he's protecting Luke, of course, maybe have him he has to use the Force to like stop Luke from fucking falling off a cliff or something, and then someone sees that, reports it to the Empire, the Inquisitors are after him. But have that be the entire plot. Don't be like, alright, there's like 20 different characters and we're going jumping between locations. Just have it be this big thing. And I would want, like I said in my hot takes video, I don't think Darth Vader's intimidating. I think he would have been if they had have stopped with the original trilogy, because I used to find I never found him intimidating, but he was definitely scarier than like now. He's just kind of like nothing to me. It's kind of like noise. He just pops up when he's needed, you know. So what I would have done is have like not even like don't even have to show him. Kind of treat him how they treated him in Rogue One, where it's like you might see a glimpse. I know in Rogue One he showed up a couple of times, but you might see a glimpse, or you might hear him breathing, or someone's reporting to him, and you just see like his silhouette. Like make him feel larger than life, and then have him show up right at the end for the final battle. Then we get the realization, like maybe part of the mystery that Obi-Wan's trying to solve is like, who is Darth Vader? You know, maybe one of the Inquisitors makes a comment. It's like, oh, buddy, you should remember him, buddy, brother, or something like that. Again, all this would have to be written by an actual writer and intricately done. And then, you know, he sets off on this mystery of trying to figure out who Darth Vader is and why he's trying to kill all the Jedi and stuff like that. And, you know, you get the big reveal at the end that it's actually Anakin, and you get this big fight and stuff. So basically, like, the key points of what the show did, just with like a different sort of in-between and a different overall plot, and just much more simplified into a movie form, is kind of how I would have done it. Because if you just build up Darth Vader, barely show him, he doesn't really say much. Very good example is, like I said, how they did him in Rogue One. Like, yeah, he showed up a couple times, and like he force-choked that dude and stuff, and you know, like he was doing stuff, but he wasn't like actively there. You weren't seeing him every scene. You weren't, you know, he wasn't just like this character. He was like, he was an entity, you might as well say. So then when he shows up at the end and it's done extremely dramatically and in an extremely intimidating way, the payoff is so much better, you know, because it's like, there he is. Bro's been bloody after him the whole time, and he's finally here. And it's like, what's going to happen? And, you know, something like that. Because obviously, with any Kenobi movie, you inherently run into issues because it's like, okay, well, it kind of messes with that line in A New Hope where it's like, when I left you, I was a student, all that sort of stuff. That doesn't really hold up if they fight and meet each other again when they're a bit older. And it also just like, well, how did Darth Vader know about Luke? Like, there's continuity regardless, continuity issues regardless, but I just feel like, yeah, if you focus on making him intimidating and making that a big dramatic thing, then I don't know. I just feel like it would land so much better than what we got, you know. And have the fight be somewhere visually interesting, not just a bloody muddy rock field. Yeah.
No,
I don't know. Like literally, their 3 fights. It goes from Mustafar climbing bloody bridges and lava spitting everywhere and bloody hovering on robots and all this sort of shit, going all across the bloody planet. Next fight is a bloody muddy rock land at nighttime with like no visual interest at all. And the third fight's in a hallway where everyone doesn't even do anything. It's like, give us something.
In a hallway within a 2-meter radius.
Yeah, legit. So it's like, come on. Obviously, you can't help the New Hope fight because that was, you know, in the 70s. But like, they really had an opportunity to be like modern polish. Like, you know, we've had the Mustafar fight. Let's try and one up it. You know, and they just didn't. They're just like, yeah, you know, whatever.
Yeah, and in a dream scenario too, I think they could have done some really awesome, like, you know, using the modern polish, like some really awesome like PTSD dream sequence flashing back to moments that are a bit more exaggerated in some nightmarish way on Mustafar, like something.
Yeah.
But like give him a red lightsaber and like the Sith eyes during the fight or something, like as a nightmare sort of thing.
Something like that. Yeah, that'd be
Have
cool.
fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if I can just do anything. Like if you play it safe the whole time, it's just not interesting. Just do something.
Yeah.
Even if we don't like it, it's like, oh, that's just one bit, but everything else is cool. It's like, okay, like the Acolyte. I know that gets hated a lot, and I haven't seen it, but I'm like, I do respect the ideas they were going for. Like you see the bloody kyber crystal bleed and it turns red and stuff, and it has, you know, a bunch of older Jedi. We get, you know, yellow lightsabers, stuff like that. Like, they are taking some pretty big hits. They didn't land, unfortunately, but I got respect that they at least tried it. You know, I could see what the intention was and stuff, and I can see how it could be. Like, on paper, like I think you said it in your maybe it wasn't in your hot takes, maybe it was just in a conversation we had. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I do remember you saying something along the lines of like, yeah, on paper this is great. It just was not executed like well at all. And so similar thing there, where it's like, whereas Kenobi the show, to me, doesn't even sound good on paper. Like at least make it sound good on paper.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah. So that's probably my dream one. If I had to pick another one, I'd just basically say something that would be really cool to see and like kind of original is either Old Republic, like the two brothers from the Old Republic game, like a movie around them or something. Because I love that story. I thought it was awesome. But a bit more sort of fine-tuned is maybe like a Temple Guard movie where it's like after Order 66 or even like during it or something. Like maybe even not. Maybe basically somehow a Temple Guard is like kicked off the bloody thing and he kind of becomes... I know they don't really exist, but like a grey Jedi where it's like, he's not a Sith, he's not like a bloody, he doesn't turn to the dark side, but it's like he's got the yellow lightsaber, he's got bloody, maybe even like a bloody tattered version of his old uniform that like looks sick, like something along those lines. Just something we haven't seen before, because I am also getting a bit sick of like, this Jedi actually survived Order 66? What? It's like, did Order 66 even do anything? I feel like we're just unraveling it more with each entry. It's like another survivor, sweet. Like it's losing its impact.
Yeah, that kind of thing too. That's the Mandalorian effect as well. Is it's just like there's still just like stormtroopers and Empire people like that are just like scattered. Yeah. And I understand like that would happen, but it's also just like if you do it too many times for plot points, it's like, so did Luke do anything or? Yeah, it's my dream movie. I have like 3 fun answers because I was thinking about it like all the time. So an Old Republic movie, that'd be awesome. Just something back then, Darth Revan or something. I don't know much about any of them, or Darth Nihilus or whatever, but just something back then, so it's not connected to anything.
Yeah,
I think whether if it's better translated to a show or a movie, I reckon. The early days of Kylo Ren, like when he's in Luke's temple, so we get the early days of that.
Oh yeah.
And then the Knights of Ren, like sort of around. I think there's a very interesting time period there.
Yeah.
But my bloody Fairyland Dream Wish movie that like straight up can't happen. But bloody we're banging is bloody Force Unleashed, like Starkiller, like Vader's apprentice.
Yeah.
Like, just bloody like that first game. If that was like templated for like a bloody spectacular looking movie, I'm like. Awesome.
Yeah, no, I can see that definitely. Hello. That connection or
like that idea.
That's pretty cool. I haven't actually played Force Unleashed. I know I watched you play a bunch of it.
Did you?
Because I think, there was something. I don't remember what it was. Maybe you like unpacked your old Wii. Maybe for Wii Sports Resort, and you're just like, I'll play Force Unleashed. Everybody, when we were playing that a bunch. But I haven't actually played it myself. My main memory with Force Unleashed, I don't even know if it's connected to that or if it just like maybe this was like an original thing that gave him the idea, or maybe it's just a coincidence. But there was a Lego set. I believe it was the Death Star, or something to do with the Death Star. Maybe it was in Darth Vader's castle. But it was very heavily like focused on Darth Vader. And the minifigures in the set, I remember being in Target and seeing this. The minifigures in the set were like a kind of half-destroyed version of Darth Vader. Some random guard lady, I don't remember. And then Darth Vader's apprentice. And I thought that was like about the secret knowledge at the time. I was like, Darth Vader has an apprentice? Where is this going? Why didn't he show up in the movies? What happened? Because that was before bloody every point in the universe was explained. And I just remember thinking it was so cool. Because it looks like Starkiller, but it wasn't called Starkiller. It specifically said Darth Vader's apprentice. So I'm like, I don't know if this was like them testing the idea for Force Unleashed or something. I was very young. I don't remember it too vividly, but that's like my main memory of Force Unleashed, which is like not even like fully connected. But I've heard great things. I've heard it's like bloody peak gaming. Would you say Force Unleashed is better than any of the movies? Question for you.
That's tricky. You can't really say that. You can't really, like, that's a fucked question. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a very fun time period to explore. I think, like, the prequel era, like, specifically, like, you know, between 2 and 3 or whatever, and after episode 6, I think those 2 periods of time are explored a bit too much. I'm like, what about between like bloody 3 and 4? That's a lot to do there. Kenobi again could have done more with that. And then between 6 and 7, I'm just like, give us something there. Especially with Luke, I'm like, you can do bloody so much. Stop giving us this fucking thing.
Yeah, I kind of... But see, like, we had that with all the bloody... What was it called? Star Wars Legends or something. But then they're like, no, that's not canon. It's like, we could have adapted that. You could have made movies out of that. People would have loved it, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, like Mara Jade and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, like, that'd be cool to see.
And it felt like they were setting that up with Grogu and all that. And they're just like, what if in Boba Fett episode 7 we make him go back? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
What a show.
Let's go. Yeah, I forgot about Boba Fett, to be honest. I forget about it every time until you mention it.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, yeah, that exists. Well,
I'm a slight defender, but like a lot of these things, it's kind of like, alright, I give up. Tell whatever you're telling. I'll just enjoy whatever I say about it.
Well, the pig at the trough. Yeah, just give it to me. Okay.
Yeah, fucking whatever. Yeah, where are we at? Yeah, so we're nearly at 50 minutes. Was there anything you want to discuss Star Wars movie related? Wait, did you pick apart my ranking? Like, where was what? You said about Grogu and that being...
Yeah, no, it all made sense. There was mainly just, Mandalorian and Grogu being that low, and Clone Wars being that low, to be honest. I expected that to be higher. Obviously, I knew, favourite was Revenge of the Sith. That was just went without saying. No, it was all pretty safe. Like, not safe. Like, basically, like, it's to be expected, because I'm pretty familiar. The one thing that actually did surprise me a bit is it seems like the sequel trilogy has gone down over the years, because that used to be much higher. So, like, is that just, like, revisiting wasn't as strong as you initially thought, or
it's just tricky, because I'm, like, again, I really enjoy all the movies in, like, very different ways. I'm just, like those that have, like, a lot of connection with you, and I just think they're, like, visually great. The prequels, I'm, like, they have, like, the softest spot in my heart. But then I'm like, the original just is like really solid and like got all this going, but it's like also rough and like, and I still grew up with that a fair amount. But yeah, like all those movies, I'm like, they're very close together. Like again, like the whole sequel trilogy, I'm like, it's really just kind of bloody all stuck together to me, and. But then Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones being just above it, I'm like, it's not like it's like, yeah, bloody sequels here, bloody episode 1 and 2 here. I'm like, they're like bloody just sitting on them, if anything. But the ones where it's like, alright, that's a fair bloody step up is like, episode 4, 5, 3, and Rogue One. I'm like, alright, they're like, that's like the top 4 that I don't think will ever really move.
that's fair.
For the rest, I'm like, right, that's like, yeah, bloody sitting there.
Yeah. No, fair enough. And what are your thoughts on all these movies that are being announced? Obviously, as you said, none of them have come out yet, or we haven't heard anything. But like the bloody, is it called Starfighter or something like that?
Star Wars
like
Starfighter.
The Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
the Ryan Gosling one. I'm like, to me, like, just to state my opinion real quick, I don't know why movies like that are being announced as movies. Like, I feel like that's just pure Disney Plus bloody 6-episode cancelled for season 2 energy. Like, I understand it's got Ryan Gosling, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah.
The Rey trilogy, I think, could be good. Is it the best option? Probably not, but like it could be good because it's basically I think Star Wars should always be in trilogies, and that should be it for movies. Everything else, make as many shows as you want. I'm not going to watch what I don't care about, but the movies, like it's always been a certain formula, and then we got Rogue One, which is a standout, and then Solo, which is a standout. Now Mandalorian and Grogu, but then it's like, okay, well now that's all they're doing is standouts.
Yeah,
this Rey trilogy, I'm like, that's probably just going to be a one-off, and people are going to hate it, and it's going to get cancelled, whatever. Yeah. But like, I don't know, like basically it feels like we've lost the direction that Star Wars was going. And to me, I feel like it needs to be streamlined again, and a bit more eventful. I don't know.
We're hitting a new era, and I think they planned that with this movie. So I'm very curious to see the landscape of the future with all that. But I think, unfortunately, which you can't exactly control, but it's unfortunate in hindsight, that I think they, I don't know, the management for Star Wars was a bit led astray, unfortunately, or however you want to put it, where it's like because they obviously planned the sequel trilogy to do it. They didn't plan the story all the way, but they were just like, oh, what if we do Rogue One, buddy, just a standalone, buddy, that, and they're just like, and that was like good box office, not out of the water or anything, and then like great reviews. It's like, oh, let's do another bloody one-off, alright, bloody Solo. Ooh. Alright, I guess we won't do that then. Yeah. And it's just like, why'd you pick that?
Yeah.
And so now they're like stunned of like doing the Solo movies, and they're just like, alright, we'll stop that. And it's just like, and then with Mandalorian season 1, they're just like, oh, that's fucking banging. Alright, let's do bloody a whole bunch of fucking shows then. And it's just like, and I don't way too many, and they're all shit.
I wonder if it is a case of them misunderstanding what people resonate with as well, because it seems like they're just throwing, like, there is the stereotype of just, you look at a fucking rock in the background of A New Hope, and there's probably a Disney Plus show for it. Like it's like that sort of level, and so it's like, maybe they're misunderstanding what the fan base actually wants. For me personally, that's all I can speak for. I can't even speak for you really in depth. Like I don't know what the general fan base wants, but for me personally, I'm like, I want the Jedi and the Sith. I don't really care about Skywalkers. I just want Jedi and Sith, and I'm like, because that was pretty much all of Star Wars for so long, like it's not until Mandalorian really. I guess Rogue One and Solo was where we started to separate, but then Mandalorian really was like, all right, we're fucking doing very different things, And if we have to go back and do Old Republic bloody movie or Old Republic trilogy or whatever, or go 1,000 years into the future and really experiment, really do something new, I'm like, for me, as long as it's about the bloody Jedi and Sith, I'm kind of happy. That's kind of what I look for. I'm not interested in okay, I'm not fully interested in things where it's like the Starfighter movie where it's like, okay, like I get this could be cool and this is fun, but to me, just make him a side character like Poe or Han Solo or something like that. Yeah. Make him a charismatic side character that is like a fan favorite and just kind of quit while you're ahead, I guess. Just make something really small but banging rather than a full-blown movie that's just kind of average. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, like the percentage of focus on certain things, like, should you be focusing on that specific thing that much? Or,
yeah, exactly.
We want an R-rated Ben Quadinaros taking over the galaxy movie.
Exactly. We don't need this Darth Vader shit. Bloody hell. We want Bubble Freak, bloody Double Team and Grogu. I don't know. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Well, technically he's 50 or whatever.
Okay.
But,
actually, she's a 3,000-year-old dragon. Actually?
What are you watching? Anyway, so we'll cap it off there before I get too crazy.
I don't want to get this shit cancelled.
But, so if you made it this far in the video, type in the comments. Rise of Skywalker is the best movie of all time. No.
Type in the comments. Get her.
What an arrow, I know. One of them.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah.
Actually, no, I've got a fun one.
Yeah.
In the comments, write a little sentence. Just say, my character is blank. Make up a random name. And just see if people bloody catch on. See if it sounds bloody accurate. So, my favorite character is blank. And just make something up. We'll see your creations.
Yeah. Whatever he said. So we're getting on to the special segment at the end of the episode.
Yes, let's go.
Random item of the episode.
Item.
For show and tell. I have mine ready. Mine arrived this morning, and I'm like, I'm going to show that off.
Your PC?
Imagine that.
Random item.
Again, drops it. Yeah, no. I want you to guess mine real quick. So it was a JB order because it was buy one get one at the moment for Blu-rays. I got a Blu-ray trilogy. Yeah, what do you reckon the trilogy is?
Trilogy.
I haven't seen the movies before.
Haven't seen them before, and you got it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, so it's a slight gamble.
Yeah, you wouldn't risk that for much, so that has to be quite interest.
Bargain, though. Yeah.
Okay. God, that's so vague.
Yeah, really putting you on the spot there with that one.
For some reason, I know this isn't true. Like, I genuinely it's 100% not correct, but for some reason I cannot get it out of my head. Bloody Land Before Time trilogy, the animated one.
Oh, fuck. That's funny enough, yeah. Nah, bloody close, but...
Fern Gully. Ah, cool. That's awesome. What the hell? Yeah, sweet. I didn't,
50th anniversary version.
Yeah, cool. I didn't know you were bloody getting them. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm just like... The reviews for the first movie are crazy, but I didn't realize the second movie was like also very well praised. I'm like, oh shit.
Well, yeah, the second one is like the best in the trilogy. A lot of people say. Yeah.
And then because I did a little bit of research, I'm like, but there's a third one. Like, what? I was like, and that one apparently is like decent based on what I've seen, but that was made like 18 years later or something. So I'm like, okay, was that
long? Bloody hell.
Yeah, the first one I think was 72. And then 74, and then 90.
I didn't realize it was that much later. Bloody hell. Yeah, the third one is the one I haven't seen. Like, I've seen clips and stuff, and like, I know the overall story because I just watched the bloody timeline like I tend to. But yeah, that one I've heard pretty miserable things about, unfortunately.
But I reckon it's like, these are movies where it's like, you got to see them. Sort of. I think I'm in a time of life now. I'm like, right, I can, because I watched like 10 minutes of The Godfather like over 10 years ago, and I'm like, this is boring.
It just would not have been the time for it. Yeah, no, definitely not.
Yeah, what's your item? What you got?
Well, my item, I tried to bloody stick to on brand because I'm always doing something that's not really related to what we're talking about. But you just showed Godfather, so now I'm regretting it. But either way.
Yeah, not Star Wars related.
I need to get a bloody new case for this because these cases aren't great. If anyone has, you'll see when I hold it up. If anyone has these cases and you know a good bloody source for them or a bloody way to clean it, let me know because it's disgusting. But the piece of meteorite that I bought at the bloody... Yeah, exactly. No, this is like an actual meteorite that I got from the museum. They had like, little displays and stuff. Obviously, they can't sell the big actual full ones, but I thought this is really cool. This is actually from space. I think it's just iron and stuff. It's nothing, no bloody Alien X, bloody symbiote or anything like that. But no, I just love space, and I've always wanted one. So yeah, there you go. Wish it wasn't as expensive as it was, especially in a case like I don't know how well that's showing up, but this case is like it's filthy, and I haven't done anything to it. It's just been sitting on my desk, and it's disgusting. So that was $300 well spent. Let's go.
Yeah, Star Wars related, but that's the popcorn bucket I got yesterday. We'll see in it.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Well, thanks for watching this episode of the Chill Fellas podcast.